And lastly, we just wanted to talk. Congratulations! Obviously, you know, a lot of accomplishments that you've had. I see that yourself and you know, world-renowned trainer Robert Garcia are opening a gym in Chicago. You already have Body Shop Boxing Club. You already have your gym in Chicago. Talk to us about the thought process and the reasoning behind teaming up with Robert and, you know, RGBA and opening another gym in the city of Chicago.
You know, I said this to you before, Danny Alvarez. Like, you know, I used to go to Oxnard like a week a year for like 8-9 years, right? And I used to hang out in Robert's gym and, you know, watch those guys. I used to watch Brandon, Victor Ortiz, who else? I met Big Hoss, Don O'Leary, Roger Romo. All those guys were super nice to me, so I kind of built a relationship. Danny Garcia. Built a relationship with those guys, and, you know, the stories got around, and after Jessica won, after Jessica went undisputed, you know, I think Mikey was commentating Jessica's fight in Dallas, and, you know, the story got back to Robert, and, you know, Robert and I started talking, and Robert's like, hey, inbox me your number. I inboxed Robert my number. He called me, and he's like, yeah, are you interested in opening up a gym? I said, yeah, let's do it. And, you know, I was down, he was down, so I think it makes sense. And, you know, Chicago is like, you know, first of all, it's very segregated, right? It's very, like, neighborhood,
right.
Very segregated by race, by neighborhood. It's very, very, like, you can have 10 gyms in Chicago as long as they're small. Like, they should all survive, because that whole neighborhood would go to it, that whole neighborhood would go to it. So I don't, my gym right now isn't that big, so I want another one, and I want to make it 2,000 square feet, 2,500 square feet. I just want to focus on fighters. And I think, you know, with Robert's name and my own, obviously, now as I come up, I think it's a no-brainer. I've always looked up to Robert as a trainer and as a coach, and, you know, Big G. You know, Fernando Vargas was in the mix too. You know, I'm friends with Fernando, so, like, I think it just made sense. You know, I think a lot of those people could vouch for me. You know, that I'm a hard worker, and you know, I feel like I can add to Robert's name and my own name, and, you know, and hopefully we can have some champions together.
Yeah, how does it feel for you to have, you know, a trainer, right, a former fighter, but a trainer of that magnitude, with all the big names that have, you know, been under the Robert Garcia stable, to recognize your work, your talent, your like you said, your come up, and to, you know, want to be able to collab with you and do things in your city now?
It's, you know, it's pretty dope. You know, I think, you know, like I said, I've always looked up to Robert. So, you know, when I was going there to, you know, like, man, what's wrong with Chicago? How come our guys are getting so far? We get a shot as a big opportunity, and we can't even compete, where our Chicago guys were getting blown out. And I went there to kind of understand and figure out what we were doing different, to see if I could put it all together. And I just felt like there's certain things that they were doing over there that we weren't. We meaning Chicago. And so I started working on new things and adding new things. And my fighters, I mean, we haven't lost since 2019, December, since Olympic trials. So, like, you know, we're on a hot run right now, and I think, you know, to answer your question, it just feels amazing for like someone at that caliber to notice us, you know, us, because it's not just me. You know,
absolutely.
Jess put me on, you know, like, some people are like, oh, you did a lot for Jess, but shit, you know, Jess did a lot for me too. I'm not afraid to say it, and shout out to you, Danny Alvarez, for, you know, I think the story got back to Robert, or maybe you refreshed Robert's memory. Like, I would hang out in his gym and just be a fucking, you know, just sitting on a chair for a week, and he's probably like, who the fuck is this kid? And it all came back, and, you know, a lot of people are like, yeah, that was Rick. He was the one, and he was like, oh shit, like, he just kind of put it all back together, and, you know, everything came full circle. So that is probably the most amazing part. Like, I mean, I didn't tell you to say that. You know, I didn't know that my name was going to get brought up, and for everyone to feel a certain way about me, that makes me feel proud. Like, I'm doing something right, and I'm proud, and I'm grateful, and I'm not afraid to admit that, you know, that you helped make that happen. I'm not afraid to say that I look up to Robert Garcia. You know, 13 world champions, you know. You know, when we went to meet Robert, Jess and I were talking to Robert, Mikey, and Robert said, he's like, I said, how many world champions? I thought it was 12, and he's like, 13, I think. And he says, yeah, but you got something I ain't got. And I was like, what? And he's like, undisputed champion. I was like, damn. It was just like he had already thought that.
Right.
You see what I'm trying to say?
No,
so
absolutely.
It wasn't like rehearsed. He was like, it was like a freestyle. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just like bang. And I was just like, damn, you know, it just made me like hype. It kind of
Absolutely.
like got me hype. And you know, when you look up to someone and then they fucking crown you, in my opinion, it's just, man, you know, I'm extremely grateful. Like, just grateful. You know, Mikey's there, Big G's there, and Jess and I were there. It's just like, man, these dudes, I basically like, I still look up to them.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like, you know, I just feel like Robert's like Jay-Z. You know, like Kanye West, you know, and I'm not afraid to say that I look up to Robert.
It's crazy for us sometimes because, you know, we just have our head, you know, in the grind so much and we don't really look up to kind of like, you know, see things and enjoy it. You know, we're just working really hard, and so for somebody to say something, it kind of like reassures you that you're doing really well, because we just feed off of each other. I'm working hard, he's working hard, I see him working hard, I want to work harder. You know, I see what he does with, you know, just his own business and financially, and like he's got a body shop, he's got a gym at his house now. We're gonna open up the RGBA gym, and it's like, man, I got to do something like more, and then, you know, we just feed off of each other, so it's good to
Well, congratulations. You know, very few more deserving, and it's, for me, it's being from Chicago. It's just good to see, you know, the success coming back to the city and everything coming back. So, congratulations, and thank you both for your time. I truly appreciate it as always.
Thank you. Anytime, we're down.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.